Seattle Mariners open up a 4-game set this weekend against the Texas Rangers at Safeco Field. Right-hander Cha Sung-Baek gets the start for Seattle. Vicente Padilla gets the nod for Texas. Game time set for 7:05 in the Emerald City. Last night, the Rangers lost to Oakland 6-1. Ranger pitcher John Karanka allowed all 6 runs, 10 hits, in just over 5 innings in his second start of the year. Rangers managed just 4 hits off Oakland's Dan Herron and Kiko Calero. Texas is 1 loss away from their worst May in club history. They're 9-19 this month. Meanwhile, the Mariners return home after a 6-4 road trip, though they dropped the last 2 in Anaheim. Last night, Mariners ace Felix Hernandez allowed 7 runs and 9 hits in 7 innings. He also surrendered his first 3 homers of the season. The second-place Mariners are now 5.5 behind the Angels. Texas starter Vicente Padilla has had a rough go of it, both in 2007 and his career versus Seattle. The righty is 2-7 with a 5.77 ERA and has beaten the Mariners just once in 5 decisions. Padilla has yielded 15 earned runs in his last 15 innings and has struggled on the road, posting a 7.59 ERA in 6 outings. Cha Sung-Baek looks to build on Saturday's impressive outing in Kansas City. The righty gave up 1 unearned run and 5 hits over 7 innings in a 9-1 victory, throwing 74 of his 98 pitches for strikes. Beck has pitched into the 7th inning in each of his last 4 starts, posting a 3.14 ERA. Rangers shortstop Michael Young has hit safely in 8 of his last 9, hitting .368 during that span. And Kenny Lofton is back to his old ways, getting on base at a .378 clip, even slugging .448 in the month of May. For the Mariners, third baseman Adrian Beltre has 4 career home runs against Padilla. Ichiro brings his 23-game hitting streak into the game. He's 9 for 17 against Vicente Padilla. It's the Rangers and Mariners. Beck versus Padilla. Game time set for 7:05 in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.TV beginning at 10 Eastern.
Be in pretty good shape.
You always hear us talking about hitting with men in scoring position, and certainly that is something that the Mariners in the last 7 or 8 games have been very proficient at. More on that. Here's Dave Sims.
So you wanted to see your team swing the bat. Well, that's what the Mariners have been doing of late, and they've been super productive. Let's take a look at our Chevy storylines, and the numbers are outstanding. The last 10 games, the ball club's swinging at a pace of .315. That's up from .297. The hits have increased. The runs have increased, but probably the biggest number, runners in scoring position. Previous 12 games, it went from .229 to .398. That's a lot of clutch hitting. That's a lot of great hitting with 2 outs. And maybe it'll continue against this Texas Ranger club that the Mariners are 3-1 against so far this season. When we come back, Dave and Mike will have a look at the starting lineups as we begin a 7-game homestand.
Baseball on FSN is brought to you by Dodge, Grab Life, by the Horns, by AT&T. Singular's name is now AT&T, your world delivered. And by Rico. Move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. Dave Niehaus along with Mike Blowers. The Texas Rangers are in for 4. This is game 1. Let's look at their lineups, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Dave. We have Ichiro leading off, trying to extend his hit streak to 24 games. Vidro, Guillen's going to hit 3rd tonight. Raul Ibanez switched to 4th. Richie Sexton hitting 5th. Look what the Mariners did on their road trip. 10 points they raised their average on the last trip. There's a reason why. Beltre had a good trip. Betancourt hitting over 400 with men in scoring position, and Jose Lopez hitting 9th.
Right now, we're going to take a peek at our Banner Bank Building to the Future note, and there is Brandon Morrow. If you were with us last night on television, you saw this matchup. A classic matchup between power and power. Morrow against Vladimir Guerrero, Mike.
Well, you're absolutely right, Dave. We've seen him match up with a couple of good hitters, but Guerrero's been the most dangerous for Seattle. And you see Brandon, typical of him coming out of the pen. He's going right after him with that good fastball. Guerrero takes a couple of rips at it, but he's still a little bit late. But it was some kind of battle. There he finally throws an off-speed pitch. And then he strikes him out on that good slider down and away.
Only problem was that just didn't happen that many times during this series with Vladimir Guerrero, and he did in the Mariners the last couple of games of that 3-game series. The M's and the Rangers, good to have you with us. Back with more right after this. Safeco Field, Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By Aflac. Ask about it at work. By Les Schwab, celebrating 50 years of pride in performance. and by Emerald Queen Casino. Enjoy Father's Day at Emerald Queen. Treat Dad to a fantastic buffet. For information, visit emeraldqueen.com. Look at the lineups, Michael.
Okay. For Ron Washington and the Texas Rangers, you have Kenny Lofton leading off, Michael Young, Teixeira, Sammy Sosa. You see he's had some success at Safeco. Catalinato, Bird, Kinsler, Laird, and Vasquez hitting ninth. Our Rico scouting report on Beck. Really good in his last outing. You can see what he's done against Texas overall. Very good also. Second time through the lineup, it doesn't seem to be a problem. He's going to have his control tonight and command the strike zone against this Ranger team. And then the guys behind him, you have Ibanez in left, Ichiro in center, Guillen in right, Beltre at third, Betancourt at short, Lopez at second, Richie Sexton over at first, Kenji behind the plate, and Beck on the mound.
The Mariners always seem to find some way to win when Beck is on the mound. They have given him a lot of support. Not the last time out, but he has been getting a lot of support. He was fantastic against Kansas City in his last start.
Well, he really was. He was very good, and he commanded the strike zone, which is something that Mike talked a lot about with him. But I think overall he's done a pretty good job for this club. The Rangers are a team that want to hit home runs, and I think for Beck, a control-type pitcher, he should be able to have pretty good success against them if he can stay on the corners.
Rangers not only want to hit home runs, they do hit home runs. They are leading the American League in home runs with 68. Something like the old Mariner ball clubs, to tell you the truth. They used to hit a lot of home runs, not win that many games.
Right. Well, the problem with them also is they're 13th in hitting, and they're really bad as far as bases on balls also. So a lot of those home runs are solo shots, and they're not scoring many runs.
Just look at Cha-Sung Beck's last 4 starts.
You can see what he's done.
Yeah.
Nice ERA, opponent's average. Everything's good right there. Just the 2 walks, which is what you want to see in a control-type pitcher.
Well, we get set to go, and a happy birthday to the leadoff man of the Texas Rangers. Kenny Lofton is 40 years old today. Hitting at .267 on the year. And a lot of people are thinking that the Kenny Loftons and the Mark Teixeiras of the world are not too long for the Texas Rangers, the way things have been going and the way other clubs need speed, need defense. And there's Teixeira, who is a year and a half away from being a free agent. And Rangers think they can get a lot for him. Teixeira is in the hole here in this first inning, batting third. And he's a Baltimore boy. And Peter Angelos lurking.
You've already got him moved to Baltimore?
No, I'm just pointing out geography where he's from. I haven't got him moved anywhere.
That's all right. That's a pretty good ballpark to hit in, too.
Lofton, down he goes. Mariners 3-1 against Texas. They rained out of a game in Texas. They'll have to make up later on with a doubleheader.
See if that gets him with this breaking ball. Well, I think it makes sense that you're going to see some of the guys being moved. They desperately need some pitching, and their strong suit is their offense. Normally, this year they've had their struggles. They're 13th in average and 13th in pitching and 13th in fielding. Makes it a difficult road.
Tell you one thing, you're not used to seeing Michael Young hit 257.
No, but when we saw him the last time, he was hitting 157, so he's actually done some pretty good work lately to get it there.
That ball's hit into the gap and deep, and nobody's there, and nobody's going to get to it. That's going to take a hop, and it's going to go back into the landing out there. And so Michael Young has a ground rule double here in the first inning. Hit the ball well.
He's been swinging the bat well lately. Steadily trying to get his average back. He's always amongst the league leaders in hits. Just got off to a tough start this year. Didn't really try to overswing at this pitch. He just caught it right on the barrel. You can see he's out in front of the breaking ball just a little bit, but it is on the barrel, and the ball is going to jump a little bit tonight. It's a warm night here, so early in the game it should carry a little bit.
Well, here's Mark Teixeira, the aforementioned Baltimorean, playing in his 500th consecutive game for the Texas Rangers, which is a Texas club record, taking the strike. 0-1. Only 1 for 10 against Cha-Sung Beck, but having a fabulous May. And this being the last day of May, he's hitting .355 in May. Just inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brian Gorman is the man calling balls and strikes. Jerry Davis at first base, Mike Everett at second, and Paul Nowert is around at third. Off the third base line and out of play. I've missed that sound. Thank you.
The train?
Yeah. Lopez pulled over toward the hole, just barely on the outfield grass. The changeup that's high and outside, 2-2.
Talking about Teixeira and his struggles early. He's done that a couple of years in a row, but has a lot of power, hits in a great ballpark. Switch hitter, somebody will take him.
Again, high and outside, so the count has run out. Full count, 3-2.
Trying to think of a successful pitcher in Arlington. I guess the only one I could come up with was Kenny Rogers. Had a couple of good years there.
Just lost him down low and inside. So 2 on, 1 down. And Sammy Sosa up at the plate. Sosa's been in a funk. Only 3 hits in his last 22 at bats in his last 7 games. But Sammy Sosa's 2 home runs away from joining a very exclusive club. Its membership is now 3. Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds, and Willie Mays. That the 600 club in home runs. But Junior's not far behind. Nice pitch. 1-1.
Talked about his struggles recently, but overall, you look at the scoreboard, he has 10 home runs on the board, and we're getting into the end of May. I think everybody would take that, especially not knowing what they were going to get out of Sammy coming into this year.
And the breaking ball on the inside corner.
He's thrown him a couple. Sammy didn't like that one. You can see he might have been a little bit up.
The Mariners did not take hitting practice, at least here. A few did down in the cages tonight. The Texas Rangers did. Most of the Mariners didn't get home, bedded in to around 3:30 or 4 this morning. Swing and a miss as he chased a bad ball that time. Set him up for it nicely.
He really wasn't anywhere near it either. See, back. Sammy thinks he's going to protect against a fastball away. This pitch is well off the plate. You can see how fooled he is on it.
The Cleveland Indians, who swept the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park last weekend, have them as guests in Cleveland this weekend, and not treating them very nicely there either. They beat them 11-5 tonight. A change outside in Cleveland.
See, Sheffield was tossed in that game.
No,
he wasn't very happy. I don't know who the home plate umpire was, but a couple of pitches he didn't like, and then he ended up breaking his bat, and he threw the handle of the bat. I don't think it was on purpose, but it ended up in the area of the umpire, and then benches kind of came out, and so Gary was escorted away from the field.
1-1 on Frank Catalanato, hitting only 179. And way high with the breaking ball, ball 2-2. What do you think about that incident in Toronto last night, where A-Rod yelled at the third baseman dropped the ball, and Yankees went on to score a couple of runs?
Well, yesterday we heard about it, but I hadn't seen it, and I saw a quick piece of footage of it today. And to me, I don't particularly like it. I don't think there's.
Did anybody ever yell at you?
No.
Never?
Not that I can think of. Not running the bases or anything like that. And I know Alex was saying, 3-4 times a week he goes over to the dugout side to catch pop-ups, and guys are doing it to him. I really don't recall that happening.
It's not very good sportsmanship. There's no law against it.
It's not. There's no rule against it in the game, but amongst the players, you could tell by Toronto's reaction, they weren't very excited about it at all, and I just don't think that you need to do that.
Runners get to go now on a full count.
And maybe it wouldn't have worked if Toronto had a veteran guy over at third, but it was a rookie, a young kid, and
lined into left field, right at Ibanez. 3 or 4 steps to his left, and the inning comes to an end here. In the first, a hit, a couple left. Good to be home and good to have you with us. No score.
Our Rico scouting report on Padilla, because he's really struggled against Seattle throughout his career. On the road this year, it's been bad for him too. His command has been the biggest issue. And then the guys that are playing behind him tonight, Catalanato in left, Lofton in center, Bird in right, Vasquez, Young, Kinsler, Teixeira around the infield, Laird behind the plate, Padilla on the mound.
So Ichiro stepping in to lead it off and taking a strike on one. One hit away tonight from tying the Mariner club record for hits in most consecutive games. 24 held by Joey Cora. The ex-Mariner second baseman did that in 1997. This is the second time that Ichiro's had a 23-game hitting streak. And a pop fly into shallow left center field. That's going to drop, and he's tagged the record. So a little pop fly into left center field. So sit down next to Joey Cora, just maybe momentarily, as Ichiro flukes one into left center field and now has a 24-game hitting streak to tie Joey Cora all time for the Mariner club record.
Well, like you said, Dave, he just kind of pops it up, and this ball stayed in the air forever. I don't know if the guy struggled in the outfield to seeing it, but none of them really even close to it.
So Jose Vidro, who has had great success against Padilla, a 370 hitter, steps up there now. And that's out of play.
Vidro seeing Padilla quite a bit from over in the National League days. Padilla's kind of surprised me. I thought he would be a better pitcher for them. You look at the stuff that he has. I watched him pitch for Philadelphia. I thought he was pretty good, but just another guy going to Texas struggling right now. You see his fastball 93 miles an hour.
Padilla from Nicaragua. Dennis Martinez land. Slowly hit. No chance to turn two. But throwing into the runner, they do get the one as Ramon Vasquez threw in to the runner.
See Vasquez, he gets rid of it quickly. He's played a lot of shortstop in his career. It's a good thing he got over there when he did. A little bit later, and I don't know if Teixeira would have been able to catch it.
Jose Guillen was in the original lineup as the cleanup hitter, the number 4 hitter. And then the change was made to move him to number 3 and move Raul down to number 4. So here is Guillen. Strike one. Baltimore leading the Angels 1-0 in the first, and the Orioles will be in next, and they're hot. They've won 5 in a row. And they're doing it because of their pitching. Outside. Teams are hitting just 194 against the O's pitchers since the 15th of May.
That's been a sore spot for them the last few years too, as they're pitching. So it looks like maybe they're getting that turned around.
1-2.
Mariners really did a nice job of hitting with men in scoring position on this last road trip. Just now, when we're down in Anaheim, they scored in the first inning. All 3 games that they were down there, so hopefully that trend will continue now that they're home.
Slider down low and outside. Dia not a real fast worker. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Pretty good run on that last fastball. 95 miles an hour in on his hands.
White Sox lost again as Toronto beat them 2-0. They've lost 5 in a row, and going into that game, they had the league's worst batting average. 236. They got shut out. Slender schedule. Only those other 3 games in the American League. The National League, a fairly busy schedule. Thursday, traditionally an off day for a lot of people. There's a new Mariner fan. Oh.
I'm with you, bud.
Yeah, you're darn right. Crying or yawning? Or both.
I think he's ready to go to sleep.
Outside.
See, Joe Tracer agrees. Put this away. 7 pitches. This will be the 8th pitch in this at bat.
Breaking ball on a high chopper, going to be a base hit, I think. Bare hand throw to first base, not in time, an infield hit. Jose Guillen off the plate he goes. And if you're Vicente Padilla, when you're struggling, get a hit like that, see, that's the way it's been going.
I was thinking exactly the same thing, because it did bounce right off the front of the plate. No chance for anybody to get out Guillen when it bounces that high, but Padilla, you're right, Dave. He's had his issues. He's struggled on the road, and here he is in the first inning in Seattle. And he has a little flare go out into left field, and then one bounce off the plate, and he's in trouble in the first.
Texas has been outscored 39-11 in the first inning. Mariners haven't added that yet. At the knees.
Well, they probably have the right guy up there. We saw the last graphic. Roll hitting 400 with men in scoring position.
Rawls said that back of his and his elbow just beginning to feel right now. That's been one of the problems with taking the power away from him. Happened in spring training.
I talked to him at the start of the road trip, and he was saying the same thing, and then he felt like he started to adjust his swing a little bit to protect his back, and he was kind of getting excited going out on the trip because he was feeling much better.
Well, he had 368 on the trip. Outside target. 1-2. 2. The breaking ball low and inside. Mariners out to snap a little 2-game nosedive after they'd won 4 in a row. And that breaking ball way outside, so he had him 0-2. And he's full now, 3-2.
Wonder if the Rangers have tried to talk him. I never noticed how slow he is in between pitches, Dave. He's taking a long time. You'd think that he'd try to get some sort of rhythm with his pitching, but he wanders around and takes a lot of time.
Guillen going, and the pitch fouled back. A little surprised, but
Mike just trying to stay out of the double play, I guess. Haven't seen Guillen run too much.
Gerald Laird walking way out in front of the plate to throw some signs out there. Oops, did he balk? No,
he faked a step towards third first, and as he was trying to turn to come back around, he stumbled.
So he was off the rubber.
I thought so. We'll see the replay. Yeah, he was off of it.
And Mike Hargrove out talking to Mr. Gorman about that particular move. And a great day to just sit out in the bleachers and watch the ball game. A day for shorts.
It's still warm at the ballpark right now. And they have the trainer out there looking at Padilla.
Taking an interminable amount of time between pitches.
He really is.
In goes, and foul back again. Everybody out here to have a good time tonight to welcome the Mariners home, and what a night to come out to the ballpark.
He almost gives you the impression he doesn't want to throw it towards home.
He took the words right out of my mouth. And foul back again. And again, Guillen was gone.
Rangers have not been a good fielding club, and taking this much time in between isn't helping those guys out at all either. Maybe it's standing around.
And he goes again, and he lost him, ball 4. So the sacks are full. For Richie Sexton, who had a heck of a trip. He had 324 on the road trip. And Mr. Grand Slam from last year has got a shot at one here.
See 14 in his career.
All the way. Not had that much success against Padilla. 3 for 15 as you look at the runners. Ichiro perched over there at third. Jose Guillen at second. And Raul at first. Fastball in on him, and he pops it over the first base side and back into the stand. So he's in the hole, 2 strikes.
Now that Padilla's gone back to the windup, let's see if he picks the pace up a little bit.
Too high. Last time Richie hit a home run, it was against these Texas Rangers last September down in Texas. Breaking ball just inside. So Padilla is having the same problem with Sexton that he had with Banez. Got 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's you know, when he's doing it with his breaking ball, he's Richie on this at best a little bit different. He's throwing 3 fastballs in a row, and they just tried to throw the breaking ball, but he gets ahead, and then all of a sudden he's trying to make perfect pitches out there, and he's just getting himself in more trouble.
And Richie says, you going to throw it or not? I mean, this calls time. Fastball laced into right center field for a base hit. So Ichiro's going to score. Here comes Guillen around third. He's going to score. And it's 2-0. Richie Sexton with his 31st and 32nd RBIs with a clean single into right center field.
They kept throwing fastballs to Richie, and this one is again another fastball away, and Richie hits a bullet over the second baseman's head. He's had 8 RBIs in his last 5 games, so you could add another couple, 10 over his last 6 so far. So he's heating up. It's good to see.
And Mark Connor is on his way out to the mound here in the first inning. Like Mike said, he's a man out there that looks like he does not really even want to throw the baseball to the plate. He's thinking a lot. Hitters are stepping out on him because he's taking too much time. He gets ahead of them 0-2 and then goes ball 1, ball 2, or ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. He did on Richie. Went strike 1, strike 2, ball 1, ball 2, and then gave up the base hit. And a look at the pitch count. Already 28 pitches here. Our Dodge pitch count in the first inning.
Yeah! Let's go, Kenji!
Kenji fans out there. And he takes a strike.
The thing that's amazing about the amount of time he takes, even after he looks in, I haven't seen him shake Laird off that much. He makes up his mind and then he stands out there.
And there's a line drive base hit into left field. So that's going to pick up Ibanez, and Sexton will stand down there at second base. It's 3-0.
Jams Kenji. Gets in on his hands a little bit, but he's able to fight it off over the shortstop's head. things continue from the road trip. The Mariners did a nice job with men in scoring position, and they're 2 for 2 in that department already today.
And here's Adrian Beltre, who has 13 hits in his last 24 at-bats. And 4 home runs against Padilla. The Mariners offense the last 10 games, 398. One and one. Pop up and playable to Shiraz over there in foul territory. That's the second out. Yesky Betancourt's really hot with the bat right now. An 11-game hitting streak. He had 351 on the just completed trip.
He's also amongst the league leaders hitting him in scoring position. We already saw Raul at 400. Betancourt with a hit last night. He's driving a run.
Slow curve for a strike.
About 65 miles an hour slow.
Fastball off the glove of the third baseman, and that will be, we'll wait and see, an error. Has to be an error. Hit right to Ramon Vasquez, and Michael Young came in and didn't have to play, so that will load the bases.
You can almost see this coming. You can see he's just standing there, going to get an in-between hop. He didn't give ground or try to come get it.
25 errors for Texas. That's the third most in baseball. And the Mariners will send at least 9 men to the plate here in the first inning. Here's Lopez. And it's high and inside. And you were right. You're talking about standing around out there. It has a lot to do with that. I mean, the ball is hit right to you.
I mean, I don't want to make excuses for the guys, but as a pitcher, you could certainly help yourself out by picking the pace up a little bit.
Look out. That hits the umpire in foul territory. I hope he's all right. Hit Phil Nauert on the leg.
He's not even going to rub it. Oh, look at my guy right in the knee. That hurts. But you're not helping those guys at all, Dave, when you're taking that much time. He's thrown 36 pitches here in the first inning now. This will be his 37th.
One and two. So far, the first inning has taken about 35 minutes. Padilla is pretty much hitting the fat part of the plate. Slow curve, and that's too high and inside. And here we go again.
You know, watch him. He's throwing 94, topped out at 96 miles an hour with his fastball, but he really hasn't thrown a hard-breaking ball to go with that.
Just barely trailed his bat out over the plate with that. 40 pitches. We're told that it's 41. Too far inside. Now everybody gets to run.
See that Joe's Tracer all around it.
There they go. And it swung on and popped up outside of third and coming over near the dugout and into the top of the dugout. Onto the top of the dugout. There, Vasquez running out of room. There they go again. And a ground ball to shortstop. Michael Young has it. And his throw to first, and it's finally over. So 9 come to the plate. 3 of them score here in the first inning, and the Mariners have an early 3-0 lead. Well, here we go. Nice scene again from over at Alki. Some of Seattle's finest mounted. Checking to make sure everybody's having a good time over there. Yeah, the first inning has been a nice inning for the Mariners as they scored 3. And Marlon Byrd just recently recalled from Oklahoma City. Will step in and he will lead it off against Cha Sung Beck. Marlon Byrd hitting .358. 44 games for Oklahoma when he was recalled 5 days ago. And takes a strike, 0-1.
And he's off to a good start with Texas, hitting .316.
Nationals knocking off the Dodgers 11-4 in the National League. And a fair ball. Play. Beltre in foul territory. That came very close to hitting the bag.
It looked like maybe it was going to, and then he actually slips a little bit when he tries to plant his feet. You can see him slip. Nice accurate throw over to Richie.
Ian Kinsler, the kid that was the talk of baseball along with A-Rod in April because of all the home runs they were both hitting. Kinsler ended up hitting 9 home runs in April, and here we are the last day of May, and he's hit only 1 home run in May, so he's really tailed off. And takes a strike. 0-1.
You know, when I saw him early, he was hitting everything too, breaking balls, fastball, so I don't know what the adjustment is that the league has made.
Well, back into the stands. 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes.
See by Joe's Tracer, maybe it's the fact that they're pitching him inside now.
And a comebacker. No problem for Cha Sung. Friday, June the 22nd. That's not that far off. Junior's going to come back home. He's going to be making his return to Safeco Field with the Reds in an interleague matchup with the Mariners, and that night will feature a special pregame celebration of what Junior has meant to this franchise. Seats are still available at Mariners.com for what is sure to be a memorable weekend. June the 22nd, Game 1 of that series. Gerald Laird, the catch. What do you think Junior's meant to this franchise?
Everything, without a doubt.
And a great play to back end the ball, and all in one motion, making a perfect throw over to section. Great all-star play by Mr. Betancourt. 1-2-3 the story. We go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Mariners. Safeco Field, if you missed it, Ichiro in the first inning tied the Mariner Club record with this little perfectly placed pop-up into no man's land. 24 consecutive game hitting streak to tie Joey Cora's all-time Mariner record. And here he is now in the second inning, leading it off. And our salute from the U.S. Marine Corps to Ichiro for that 24-game hit streak. Our honor roll salute from the Marines to Ichiro. Want to know the count on it. Two balls and no strikes.
David, when you asked me about Kenny, the reason why I said everything, there's been a lot of great players, obviously, that have gone through this organization. Kenny going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Change and an easy play for Kinsler.
But I think that he burst onto the scene at a time when this organization, in my mind, was in a lot of trouble, and maybe it wouldn't even be here in Seattle. And 10 years with him just flew by, and he was the reason why people came out. They didn't want to come out and see everybody else until Kenny had played what? About how many years did he have?
10.
10, yeah. So I mean, 95 was a great year, but Kenny had started everything in motion years before that. And I mean, I have to give a lot of credit, to Lou Piniella and guys like Edgar Martinez, who hopefully is going to have a great night on Saturday night here. But I think Kenny just kind of led the way. And it wasn't just here; it was baseball. I mean, we would go on road trips, and everybody wanted to see him.
Two and one on Jose Vidro.
And you've seen a lot more of these Mariner games than I have. Anybody more important than him, do you think?
Absolutely not. You think in terms of routine. One hopper, and Michael Young will throw him out. And I'm not talking about now. I'm not talking about while he's playing. I'm talking about probably several years after he's retired and in the Hall of Fame. His statue will be out there somewhere. It should be. That follow-through swing. You've got Musial. You get all the statuary in Comerica Park of the different great Tigers. That ball is put into orbit, but it's not deep enough. It's going to be caught out there, and that will be that. So after 44 pitches in the first inning, hardly a sweat here, only 7 in the second. 3-0. You got to love that hairdo, don't you? Isn't she a doll? She's got herself a baseball out there. As the duck crosses the screen, we have to leave her for a second to ask our Aflac trivia question. For which team did Sammy Sosa hit the most home runs? The White Sox, the Rangers, or the Orioles? Obviously, they left out the team for which he did hit the most home runs, the Chicago Cubs. But of those 3 clubs, he started his career with the Texas Rangers, as Ramon Vasquez leads it off and takes a strike. And I believe he only hit one. I didn't check this in the record book, but I believe he only hit 1 home run for the Texas Rangers before he was traded to the Chicago White Sox. And he didn't hit that many home runs for Baltimore, the club from which he retired. It's got to be the Chicago White Sox.
I would think so. I would think he hit more than 11 for them, because he has 10 right now with the Rangers this year. So if it's 1 before, he had 11.
Yeah.
I think he hit more than 11 with Chicago.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's asking that question about before this year, not including this year. Maybe not. Well, including this year, then, well, he's got 11 home runs for the Texas Rangers. But I still think it's the Chicago White Sox.
I think so, too.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And foul off the third base side into the lower deck.
One of the things that we're seeing about Beck, too, is he's starting to be more and more economical with his pitches. His pitch counts really haven't gotten up on him very often.
Line drive, and Ichiro's going to come in and make the grab.
Well, it's hit well, but they weren't playing him very deep. Vasquez. Ichiro has a little basket catch.
Another good trivia question. It's not our Aflac trivia question, but we were just talking about Junior. I believe Junior now has 574. He just passed Harmon Killebrew. Don't know if he had one today. Did not have one tonight. There's a strike on Kenny Lofton. 574. How many of those came with the Mariners? One ball and one strike. I can still see the banner hanging up there from the rack.
It seems to me that he was just a couple short of 300, but I think it was actually 400, maybe 400. 398.
You're right on the button, man. Give that man the Cupid doll from the highest rack out there. All right. All right, that's right. 398. And it fluttered out there for a while too. Everybody was pulling for him to get to 400 because everybody knew he was going to lead.
Right. I remember. Well, that's why I remember it being just short of one of the hundreds in there.
Yeah. 398. Kenny, a pop up. And Ichiro, an easy catch. Look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. This week, 4 with Texas, 3 with Baltimore. Then that off day, which won't really be an off day because the Mariners are going to be flying down to San Diego and start another horrendous road trip because they go from San Diego, play on what would have been an off day in Cleveland again. Great stop by Beltre from his knees, throws him out, and a 1-2-3 inning thanks to Adrian Beltre. So an outstanding play, and as we go to the bottom of the third, we'll be back with our trivia answer. It's still 3-0. And Raul Ibanez leading it off here in the bottom half of the third, taking a sinker down low and off the glove of the catcher Gerald Laird. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes to count. The Mariners up by a score of 3-0. And another one down low and in. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Last time Padilla started off Ibanez the same way, 2-0, and ended up walking him. I'm actually started him off with 2 strikes and then ended up walking him. And now he started him off 3-0. Barely on the outside corner, 3-1. And look at that shot. Right over the bean of Vicente Padilla into center field. If you missed it in the first inning, here's what happened. Ichiro hit one into left center field into no man's land to extend his hitting streak to 24, and then with 2 on, Richie Sexton a line drive into right center field to pick up 2, actually 3 on, to make it a 2-0 ball game. And then Kenji Jojima came through with an RBI base hit, and it's 3-0 Mariners, and that's where we stand right now as Richie takes a strike on the inside corner. That our 4th bold move of the game in the first inning.
Richie starting to drive in runs. He's driven in 10 runs in the last 6 games. That includes this one tonight, the 2 runs that you were talking about, Dave, that he drove in the first.
Towering high pop-up. Didn't get it all. Under too much. And Catalanato makes a catch for out number 1. I'll give you the answer to our trivia question. Our Aflac trivia question was, for which team did Sammy Sosa hit the most home runs? The White Sox, the Rangers, or the Orioles? And the answer Yeah, we guessed right. The White Sox, 28. 11 with the Rangers, but won the first time around back in 1989 when he started his career. Here's Kenji Jojima now. Ooh. That got him in the rib cage. That'll sting for a while.
He isn't even close. He throws hard, make no mistake about it. That one hurts.
96-mile-an-hour fastball right in the back.
And it's tailing, no chance to get out of the way of it.
I'm sure a lot of parents would be interested in this blow. How did you learn not to be afraid of the baseball?
Wow. I know when I first started, I remember the first year that I played when it was kid pitch, when we were all pitching to each other.
That ball's going to get into the gap into right center field. So here comes Ibanez around third, and the throw back to second base, and sliding back in there is Jojima. The Mariners lead it 4-0. So Adrian Beltre continues his hot hitting as he drives in his 27th.
You can see he hits it off the end of the bat a little bit. And Raul does a nice job of running the bases, no chance. Kenji tried to go to third and thought better of it, which was a good idea. But I can remember being scared when I first, because I went from T-ball, the normal stuff, and then went into it. And I remember I either struck out or walked every at bat my first year doing it. And the next year, when I went back to play again, and it was probably through a million conversations with my dad over the course of the winter, and then practicing before the season started. The next year, I don't remember being scared anymore. I just started hitting and enjoyed it. And I think every kid, though, it comes in their own time. Eventually, if you're going to have any success, and it's what I tell my boys, they're younger, that you have to make up your mind that you want to hit and you want to help your team. You have to stay in there, but it's difficult.
Right back up the middle. Another base hit. Around third, Jojima, and he will score, and it's 5-0 Mariners. 12-game hitting streak for Udieski Bettencourt.
Well, he definitely finds a hole with this one. Just a ground ball back up the middle. It's been hot, but he's been getting a lot of hits with men in scoring position, too. But I guess just my own personal opinion of it, I don't like the idea of, throwing balls at kids, to try to get them out of the way of it and all that kind of stuff. I think you just have to just continue to encourage and talk to them, and eventually, if they're going to be able to play this game, they're going to stand in there.
And there's a line drive, a base hit into left field. That will load the bases. They won't try and score Beltre. So the Mariners back up to their old tricks of the last 8-10 days. Putting a lot of base hits up on the board. Already 8 hits in 2 in the third innings.
Yeah, they're making them count, too. They're 5 for 8 with men in scoring position so far tonight. They've done a nice job all year of hitting with as far as an average goes as a team, but the last few weeks they've really turned it on with guys on base, and that's the name of the game. You have to score runs.
Willier getting up, starting to throw. Out in the bullpen for the Texas Rangers here in the third inning. And Ichiro with a chance to pad that RBI total, which is 22.
Do you recall, Dave, having a tough time as a youngster staying in there?
I did against curveballs. Yeah, I must admit, yeah. I was jolly-legged. And that's outside ball one. And kids are throwing curveballs at earlier ages today than they used to. Much Much too soon.
Much too soon. I would agree with that. I don't like to see it.
And that's going to be a hard ball to get him on, and he doesn't get it. Slow to Hopper, and Michael Young can't get him. An infield hit. Another run comes in to score.
Well, Michael Young, we all have seen him. He's a really good player, but he hesitates just a little bit on this. And by the time he comes and gets it, makes a nice throw. You can see he just beats it.
So it's 6-0 now, Mariners, and Jose Vidro, the hitter. Slow curve, down low and inside, ball one. Everybody in the lineup, and we're only in the third inning, has a hit except Jose Vidro.
You can see it again this season, hitting .293. They brought it way up. 6 for 9 so far tonight.
And Vidro, slow tapper. That's going to be a tough play for the second baseman, and Kinsler throws him out as another run comes in to score. Betancourt. Vidro, his 18th RBI. 7-0. For the second inning of the 3 innings, the Mariners send the 9th man to the plate. Slow breaking ball on the outside corner to Jose Guillen. Same spot. 71 pitches thrown by Padilla. And finally it ends, and Padilla really mad at himself as he throws his bat down. But the Mariners strike for 4 here in the third. And after 3, lead it 7-0.
Mariner bats continue to get it done. 7 runs on 9 hits, and Cha-Sung Beck, he is cementing himself into this starting rotation. Dave Sims joining Mike Flowers, and got to like the hitting show tonight.
Well, they've been really good over the road trip, and we were wondering if it was going to carry over into this homestand. So far tonight, 6 for 10 with men in scoring position. So apparently it has.
Cha-Sung Beck drills to Shera. Warning from Brian Gorman. This after Kenji Jojima took one square in the back. Teixeira, best hitter on the ball club for the Texas Rangers.
Let's hope that evens things up a little bit.
We've been down this road before. Matter of fact, last time Texas was in, was it Ichiro got hit, and Batista went after Michael Young immediately, and that settled the score there too. Cha-Sung Beck probably earned some points from teammates there too, right?
Well, I would think so. The guy that they hit in the back is sitting behind that dish trying to help him get through this ball game. That's somebody that he definitely wants to protect.
Here's Sammy Sosa. Sosa struck out on a 0-2 pitch back in his first at bat. Two and 1 to Sammy.
That's how he was doing it. Just throwing off-speed pitches to him. Working further and further off the plate.
So the count to Sammy 1-1. Next pitch from Cha-Sung Beck. Goes to 2-1 now. So 3 runs in the first, 4 in the third for the Mariners. Only 3 players don't have an RBI tonight for Seattle. Sammy, oh, what a bullet up the middle. This Saturday, Edgar Martinez will become the 4th member of the Mariners Hall of Fame. He joins Mr. Mariner, Alvin Davis, the Bone Jay Buhner, and our very own Dave Niehaus. Join us Saturday for Edgar Martinez Mariners Hall of Fame night, presented by Wambu. Plan to arrive early by the induction ceremony, which begins at 6:30 p.m. Tickets still available at mariners.com. Sammy hit that ball pretty hard. We saw Edgar over the course of his time hit a lot of balls hard and in very key situations for the Seattle Ball Club. Here's Frank Catalanato. Catalanato 1 for 4 with a stolen base yesterday in the loss to Oakland. Frankie lined out to Banez his first time up. Down low. I'm still marveling at the ball that Guerrero hit yesterday that Betancourt got in the neighborhood of, to which I tip my cap, because that was one of the harder hit balls I've seen in a long time.
That was an absolute missile.
Talked to a couple of Rangers, Kenny Lofton and Sammy Sosa. I said, you know, as hard as Guerrero hits the ball, who hits it harder? And they both said Sheffield immediately. Then Guerrero's second. And then Sammy had himself fourth after Mark McGwire. Kenny Lofton had Dave Winfield third. Swing and a miss. So a foul back by Catalanato. Talking about last night when Guerrero, his first time up, in a rocket right by Betancourt. That one singed down the line, fair ball. Teixeira touches third. He's coming around as Guillen digs it out. He's going to score. Sosa right behind him, digging hard. Relays bobbled, and it's a 2-run double for Frank Catalanato. So 2 runs knocked in for Frank Catalanato, gives him 14.
Well, it looks like he set up away, leaves it in the inner half of the plate. Catalanato just rips it down the line. Sammy looked like he was running pretty good. I don't think hitting Teixeira would have any effect on Beck. Things haven't gone well since he did that.
Well, Teixeira was drilled after Jojima took one right in the back. Sammy followed with a laser up the middle, and Catalanato sent one into the corner. Here's a fly ball right field by Marlon Byrd. Runner holds. Well, defense has been a hallmark for several of the Mariners, and tonight no exception as we check our Panasonic Plasma Speed of Sports replay. Check out the D in the second inning. Beltray. Nice short up. Gets it over. And how about Betancourt got into it? Quick, accurate, strong throw. And then Beltray again. Breaking ball to Ian Kinsler. Ball 1. 2 runs in here in the 4th inning. Cha Sung Beck through 3 had given up just 1 hit. Hard time controlling that breaking ball right now. What are some of the other things you like about Cha Sung Beck?
Well, I just think that he's done a lot of good things. One I was talking about earlier is he's really found a way to be more economical with his pitches, meaning that he keeps his pitch count down so he can go deeper into games, which is going to be a big deal for this club as the season wears on and the schedule that they're having to deal with all these makeup games starts to catch up to him a little bit. The other thing is he's starting to pitch down a lot more. He has the ability to pitch backwards in counts.
And now he's behind Kinsler. Kinsler, good hitter. Power hitter for second baseman. He's got 10 homers and 27 runs knocked in.
Got off to just a 6 start this year, 9 home runs in April.
And he draws a walk. Second walk tonight by Beck.
Javi's going to go out and have a talk with him, try to get him back to where he was at, because he was really good the last couple of innings.
He had a stretch where he went 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. Then he retired. Jason Beck 3-0 and 4 career starts against the Rangers, 2.08 ERA. They'll bring up the catcher, Gerald Laird. It has been a struggle for these Texas Rangers. 4-8 on the road in the month of May.
Well, the worst road team in the big leagues.
See their ERA, team ERA 5.18, just ahead of Tampa Bay. Swing and a miss.
Well, if they end up losing this game the last day of May, they will have lost 20 games in the month of May.
Extraordinary. 9-19 month right now. Getting out of the first inning's been a problem too. Counting tonight, they've been outscored 42-11. This is well hit to deep left field. Ibanez giving chase, looking up, and that ball is gone. 3-run homer for Gerald Laird, his third. Got a ball game now at 7-5. Cha-Sung Beck gives up a 3-run homer.
See, he just misses his location again. Throws that fastball in the middle of the plate. He doesn't throw hard enough to be able to do that. And you're right, Dave. We do have a ball game.
Here's Ramon Vasquez, former Mariner. He looks at ball one. Next pitch. Fastball in for strike, 1-1. Just one out. 5 runs are in here for the Texas Rangers. Lead the American League in home runs. That was their 69th. Second only to Cincinnati. The Reds entered today with 72 home runs. Of course, both teams are in last place. But if you leave a couple pitches over the plate, as Mr. Beck did, get in trouble. 1-2 to Vasquez.
See those averages as he works his way through the lineup.
Tapper down to Richie Sexson. 2 outs.
His second time through, the 150 average is very good. Then he starts to struggle a little bit. 375 is high. You can see tonight a little bit different than what his tendencies have been. 3 for 6 off of him.
2 outs here in the fourth. Kenny Lofton, the leadoff hitter. He'll be the 8th hitter to face Beck here in this frame. Kenny celebrating birthday number 40 today. Sends this one to short right field. Lopez is there for the out. Damage done, though, however, as the Rangers put up 5. 7-5 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. We've had a bunch of runs scored already. First game of the short homestand for the Mariners. And Padilla's night is over, and it took a while, too. 4 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 66 pitches in 3 innings. New pitchers, Willie Air. 13th game coming up. Opponents hitting .233 against him. Giving up 2 home runs. Pretty good strikeout to walk ratio. A couple days ago, he threw 4 scoreless innings at Oakland. And it was his 8th appearance out of 11. And not giving up a run. Raul Ibanez, Richie Sexson, Kenji Jojima here in the home fourth. First pitch to Raul, strike one. Raul has walked, scored, singled, and scored.
All these guys are getting their averages up. Raul up to 287 now.
See all the numbers from the trip of the starters. It's like one guy, Guillen, 220 was the lowest batting average. Everybody else was 300 plus.
Yeah, but even with him, he was getting his hits when guys were on base. He was driving in runs with the hits he was getting.
24 RBIs in the month of May. Two 1-2 Raul. High fastball, couldn't catch up. William Mays Air, out of Fountain Valley, California, lives in Taylorsville, Utah. 2-2 pitch, way outside.
Lost a changeup. Richie already with a couple of ribbies tonight.
That pitch away, first inning, 2-run single. Three-two to Raul. To Michael Young, who stays with it, throws him out, one out. Tomorrow night, those first 20,000 fans, you better get here soon. They're going to take home the most popular giveaways each year, the Mariners collectible train car. This year's version, special 30th anniversary train, many are calling the most unique train car yet. Join us as the Mariners and Rangers meet again. 7:05 start time. For tickets, Mariners.com is where you want to go. First pitch to Richie Sexson, misses away. Well, it's been an RBI party tonight for the Mariners. Ichiro with one, Vidro with one, Sexson has two, Jojima has one. Swing and a miss. Beltre and Betancourt, they've checked in with RBIs as well. Sexson did not play last night. Didn't have good numbers against the starter for the Angels last night, Jared Weaver. He was 0 for 9. Ben Broussard, he got the start, and Baltimore, which comes in next, has a 4-1 lead at Anaheim.
Well, I think it was that. Mike said that Richie's been swinging the bat well, and because Weaver is tough on right-handers, and lefties were having success hitting 330 off of him, and Ben had good success against him. So why not just go ahead and give him the day?
Like you said, Richie's feeling good about himself. Keep that going, take it right into this homestand. 2-2 to Sexson. Fastball, he's gone. 2 outs here in the fourth.
Well, Richie didn't agree.
Only the first time a Mariner struck out tonight.
What's the club? We talked about them not walking much. They don't strike out much as a club.
It's a team that's very excited about swinging the bat.
Well, with the way things have gone the last few weeks, why not?
Absolutely. Kenji must be considered for all-star consideration. He did go, says Brian Gorman. 1-1.
Well, who are the candidates that are out in front of him? Posada,
Mauer, Martinez for Cleveland.
Good hitting catchers, man.
Yes, sir. Michael Young for the third out here in the fourth. Mariners lead it 7-5 as we turn the page to the fifth inning. Some of the spectacular scenery here in the Seattle area as the sun continues to set. Coming up tomorrow, Kevin Millwood against Jared Washburn. Saturday, Cameron Lowe against Miguel Batista. And then on Sunday, we get to see Ryan Fearbin again against Tejada. Look at our Comcast pitching matchup. Strike one to Michael Young leading off the top of the fifth. Young, Teixeira, and Socha, 2, 3, 4. Texas lineup. Change up by Beck. Cha-Sung Beck has been just heaven sent to the Mariners. Coming into this rotation. Young pokes one to right. Guillen, long run, and he won't get there. Base hit. Young puts on the brakes, and a nice throw back in by Guillen. Base hit for Michael Young, his second. He's 2 for 3 tonight. And he's starting to come out of his fog. Outstanding performer. Last 14 games entering today was 18 for 54. Here's Mark Teixeira.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before Young is going to get it going. He usually is top 3 or 4 in the league in hits.
Here's Teixeira, terrific switch hitter, and he hit a mile-high pop-up. Lopez. 1 out.
I would say that was of the big league variety.
Here's Sammy Sosa. Good left for Lope. Sammy Sosa struck out and single. Cha-Sung Beck really dazzled him with some breaking balls in that first at bat. Then the second time, Sammy hit one right by his ear. Breaking ball misses outside. Ball 1. Big 4th inning for the Texas Rangers. 2-run double by Frank Catalanato and a 3-run homer by Gerald Laird. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
One of the things that I talked about with the Rangers in the open today was to stay away from the walks with this club. You know, play good defense, don't give them any extra outs, and stay away from the walks. And Beck's done a nice job of that so far. But we talked about the 4th, a hit batter and a walk, and they can score 5 runs on 3 hits. That's the kind of club that they are. So make them earn everything you get. You know, Michael Young gets a base hit down the line, a little flare down the line. That's okay.
Cha-Sung Beck has struck out 2 and walked 2. Here's the 1-2 to Sosa. That runs to 2-2. Frank Catalanato's on deck. Mariners at a game over 500. Big breaking ball gets Sosa for the second time tonight. 2 outs here in the 5th.
Notice how he struck him out before. It was a little better located. That one he left inside a little bit because of the speed of it. Sammy was out in front. Nice breaking ball.
'77 pitches for Cha-Sung Beck. Catalanato looks at strike 1. Chance for the Mariners to get well above 500 against the Rangers who are in, and then Baltimore to follow. Baltimore starts tonight a game under 500, second place in the American League East. The Red Sox are turning that into a laugher. 0-1 to Catalanato. 1-1. Red Sox, we'll see them here in Seattle late June. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 25, 26, and 27. Catalanato fouls one back, and then we see Boston again here in Seattle. First weekend in August, 3, 4, and 5. Down low to Frank Kettle, and now 2-2. Frank with a big 2-run double to right, back in the fourth. Two pitch. Hit on the ground. Lopez, nice backhand. Uni for the force, inning over. So nothing across. They strand a runner. Here in the fifth. 7-5 Seattle. Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Safeco Insurance. To find a local independent Safeco agent, visit Safeco.com. And by your Western Washington Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Glad to have you with us here as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Mariners holding a 7-5 lead over the Texas Rangers. Dave Sims and Mike Blowers with you. Bottom three, Beltre, Betancourt, and Lopez to stand in. And here's Beltre with another base hit. Adrian 2 for 3 tonight.
That should get his average over 280. Adrian's been hot lately. You can see as he hammers this ball into the hole. Jumps on the first pitch fastball.
281's his new batting average. Started the night at 275. 2 for 3. His second hit, Betancourt 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. And Beltre also with an RBI this evening. The most graceful dive back, but he's back safely. Beltre, 5 stolen bases this year. He's been caught twice. Willie Air, in his second inning of work, he went 1-2-3 in the fourth in relief of the starter, Vicente Padilla, who had absolutely nothing. The Mariners jumped all over him. Betancourt fouls one off.
Talked about Adrian with the 5 stolen bases. Remember, we came out of spring training and he was running all over the place. He was feeling good coming out of spring training.
He's had a heck of a year. Good to see his batting average up to 281. He's made just about every play you could possibly want at third base. Tough to sneak something by him.
Yeah, he's already hit a couple of big home runs for the club this year.
Betancourt staying alive.
Are you like most everybody else? You get to bed around 4?
Yeah. And then the body woke me up at about 10, and I said, all right, second phase, we go back to sleep. 3, 2, 1, out of here.
Okay. Well,
but you had the youngins that you had to re-identify yourself.
Yeah, I did. But the thing about it is, I'm going to explain something to you because I showed up at the ballpark today, and you were chipper, had a big smile on your face, looked like you'd just been on vacation for a week as opposed to a road trip. You're going to feel it tomorrow.
I know.
It's always the second day.
That is the word.
People ask me how are the guys going to be. I think the first day back they'll be okay, but tomorrow is the day when they're going to have to push themselves a little bit.
Uni gets one up in the air down the left side. Long run for everybody. It's out of play. Yeah, for years, all these years I've followed baseball as a fan and did some fill-in work as a fill-in beat writer, and yeah, you hear all these stories, and now, first time living it. I always heard about guys, we got in at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know that feeling. Wow. Experience it first time.
Well, these men, they covered a lot of miles on this last road trip.
Covered as much on this road trip as some teams do for half a year. 0-2 to Betancourt. Let up pitch. Vasquez to Kinsler for 1, and that'll do it. So the changeup gets Betancourt to ground to the third baseman. They get 1 out. Moves up Jose Lopez. 1 for 2 tonight. Got a base hit to left. Back in the third. That was a 4-run third for the Mariners. Air checks Betancourt. Yevsky's got 2 steals. He's been caught 3 times. Perfect night for baseball. Well stroked to left field. Catalanato, though, 3 steps to his left for the out. So Ichiro has extended his hitting streak to 24, ties the team record. First inning, wasting no time on a 1-1 pitch. Little parachute job in there. Streak lives. Then in the third, Mike, infielder.
Just a couple of classic hits for Ichiro.
Young knew he had to hurry too.
Yeah, well, he sat back just a little bit, just to see get a read on the ball, and that was enough for Ichiro, who has to lead the league in infield hits every year.
Fastball up and away. 2 for 3 during the streak. 4-10, 11 stolen bases and doubles. He's got 4. They keep a lot of esoteric stats in baseball. I wonder if that is available. I'm sure the guys in the truck will. I'm sure somebody somewhere on some website has that. Base hits, leg hits in the infield.
Right. I mean, it's infield hits, and he did when he first started his first couple of years, but he really doesn't bunt that much anymore.
Yeah, right. He bunted a ton first year, right? Nobody knew him. Nobody had a book on him. Turns on this, ripped foul. So Luis Castillo, 22 infield hits. Atta baby. I knew the boys would track that one down.
We're told that Ichiro has 16.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Falling away. Can he drop it in? No. Catalanato is right there. That'll do it for the Mariners here in the 5th. And leave Betancourt on base. 7-5 Seattle. 7-5 Seattle. As we go to the top of the 6th, glad you could join us, everybody, as the Mariners come back home. 7-game homestand. Cha-Sung Beck had a hiccup in the 4th. He gave up a 2-run double to Catalanato and a 3-run homer to Laird. Other than that, he's been outstanding. And he has been backed up by his offense. 3 runs in the first, 4 in the 3rd. Marlon Byrd leading off. Marlon Byrd, Ian Kinsler, Gerald Laird, 6, 7, and 8 for Texas. Back through the middle. Well defensed by Cha-Sung Beck. And a broken back comebacker.
See what Beck has done tonight. Has a few strikeouts. They've been on the breaking ball. You see a little change up there in this breaking ball to Sammy. He gets him on another one, real slow curve.
That's some nasty work doing a curveball. One out here in the 6th. Here's Ian Kinsler. Fastball popped up, playable. Long run, Guillen, got it. Take a look at our Coors Cold Blast. Take you back to Gerald Laird on an 0-1 pitch in the 4th. Long ride, 3-run homer. Got it over the Mariners bullpen. 7-5, that's where we are right now. Laird's 3rd home run gives him 19 runs batted in. Good location on that fastball. Strike 1. When he's missed, he's not been missing in a position where he can get hurt.
No, except for the one pitch to Laird that we just saw, and that was when Kenji wanted him to bury the fastball in, throw it in, and he kind of left it on the plate. But for the most part, you're right. And we've seen him do that in a number of outings now, where he's just really been on with his fastball, being able to hit both sides of the plate too. He just doesn't try to pitch away. He'll pitch inside and out.
Yeah, remember the game in Detroit and the other game in Texas. Eric O'Flaherty getting warmed up. Part of the outstanding Mariners bullpen. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. 3-1 to Laird. Set there. Ichiro's got it. Coming in. And a quick inning. 3 up and 3 down for Cha-Sung Beck through 6. Got a 7-5 lead. Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by your Northwest Chevy dealers. See your Northwest Chevy dealers today or visit us online at northwestchevydealers.com. By Sterling Savings, the perfect fit bank. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com. Main entrance rotunda here at beautiful Safeco Field. 7-5 Mariners. As we move into the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Vidro, Guillen, and Ibanez coming up. New pitcher is Frank Francisco. 27-year-old reliever, 6'2", 235, out of Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. He's got 3 holds to his credit. ERA just under 4. Opponent's hitting .238. Pitched a scoreless inning a couple of days ago against Oakland. Dropped that ERA from 4.02 down to 3.78. Appearance right before that against the Red Sox. Got touched up pretty good. 4 runs, 4 hits, and a third of an inning. Francisco was called back from AAA Oklahoma in late April when Eric Gagne went on the DL. Vidro will be his first hitter. Fastball in there, strike 1.
He has pretty good stuff. We mentioned his numbers. They're pretty good numbers. You have an ERA under 4. Opponent's hitting .238. It's pretty good. We're having to pitch half your games in Arlington.
It's grabbed by Vasquez. 1 out. Well, since Ichiro came to the league, let's take a look at the infield hit leaders in Major League Baseball. Asked for a stat, you can get a stat. Juan Pierre, 313. Now, he's a guy that's going to...
He and Castillo both will lay it down. Right. A lot of bunts out of those 2 guys.
139 bunts for Pierre. This one hit a mile high. Long run, Kenny Lofton, and he's there for the out. Ichiro has 41 bunts. You ever try to drop one down on somebody?
Only when I was told to. I have one bunt base hit that I actually tried to bunt on my own, and it's because I was scuffling so bad I had to do something. I got one down in Toronto. Juan Guzman was on the mound, and it was the worst bunt in the world.
What surprised everybody?
Yeah, and he tried to barehand it and dropped it, and they gave me a hit. And I'll take it too.
He was a good pitcher.
He was really good at one point.
He sort of fell off the face of the earth, didn't he?
He started having some injury problems. I faced him in Double-A. He was pitching for Knoxville, Double-A for the Blue Jays, and he threw an easy 100 back then.
1-1 to Ibanez. Look out. Ooh, Carlos Garcia had to take a knee. Third base coach. Hope everybody's okay down in the crowd. See Carlos did the good old lay there. The guy in the yellow shirt, I I think he prevented further damage. My man in the gray was bailing. That's good. But somebody looked like somebody might have taken a ricochet. 1-2 to Ibanez. Down low, 2-2. 2 outs here in the 6th. If Raul gets on, Richie Sexton will get a chance. Well, the computer just checked in, and it has Mike Blowers registered for 2 bunt base hits, boys and girls, as a Mariner.
I can tell you where the second one was.
Where was it?
It was actually supposed to be a sacrifice bunt. It was against the Angels in our 1-game playoff that we had. And Tony Phillips was playing third base. And he and the pitcher had a little confusion. He was just rolling around on the.
He legged it out.
There's no play.
Ibanez goes down swinging. Frank Francisco comes in. 1, 2, and 3. Inning over in the 6th. Mariners by 2 as we head to the 7th. Over the Texas Rangers, first of a weekend series. Hey, this Sunday, another great kids giveaway. Thanks to Pepsi and QFC. All kids in attendance receive a Mariners photo frame courtesy of Pepsi and QFC. Come watch the Mariners take on the Texas Rangers at 1:05, and all kids take home this great Mariners photo frame. For tickets, visit Mariners.com today. 7th inning for Texas. Matt Cha-Sung back in the 6th. A 9-pitch, 1-2-3 inning. Ramon Vasquez will lead it off, followed by Kenny Lofton and Michael Young. Vasquez 0 for 2 today.
Well, you look at Beck's work. For the game in New York when he had his troubles, he's pitched 9 innings, 6 1/3, 6 1/3, and 7. And here he is pitching into the 7th again.
Fouled off 1-1. You saw Sherrill and Morrow warming up. How about that battle that Morrow won last night against Guerrero?
Wow.
94 pitches. Cha-Sung back. Here's the 2-1 to Vasquez. Just missed. 3-1. Vasquez has been scuffling. 3 for 17 his previous 6 games. Pops this up. Beltre has a play. 1 out here in the 7th. Saturday, meet your favorite Mariners and get their autographs. Money raised from this event goes to Esperanza's programs. Tickets are available at Bellevue Square only on the day of the event. FSN Stars is a proud sponsor. Top of the order, Kenny Lofton. 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout. Mariners started quickly against Vicente Padilla, the Texas starter. Tuned him up for 3 runs on 4 hits, and they left the bases loaded in the first inning. Put up a 4 spot in the 3rd on 4 hits, and they left 2 in that inning. Rangers came back in the 5th. 2-run double Catalanato, 3-run homer Laird.
How much longer do you think Lofton will be a Ranger?
At the rate this season's going,
yeah,
I would say the 2 words you're looking for is not very. Not very long.
He can help somebody. 16 stolen bases so far this year.
Still covers ground.
Scored 31 runs.
There's a 3-1 pitch. Look out.
And he has his 22nd walk.
They'll bring up Mike Hargrove, and Cha-Sung Beck's night is done. Michael Young got to step in. Pretty good performance by Cha Sung Beck. Brendan Morrow will come on. And the Mariners holding to a 7-5 lead. How about Brendan Morrow last night? Bases loaded. 2 out. Vlad Guerrero. Gas it up, young man. He was bringing serious heat here, Mike.
He really was. Then he goes to the off-speed pitch. And here's a nice little breaking ball. Puts him away with that. He's had a couple of big matchups this year. He's done a nice job.
They got Vlad there, and they got A-Rod. That was in New York. They got him here, too, right? He got him both places. Spot here for Brendan Morrow. 1 out, runner on in a 2-run game. Michael Young, tough hitter. There are the numbers on Brendan Morrow.
Exceptional. I think he really turned the corner down in Arlington when he came in that situation and punched out the side, throwing a lot of fastballs. Since then, he's really taken off and gained a lot more responsibility out in the bullpen.
2-0 to Michael Young. Young tonight. Ground rule double. Robbed by Beltran. And a base hit to right down the right field line. (2-0). 3-0.
He actually came in last night and struggled a little bit with his command. He was able to work his way out of it.
The dangerous Mark Teixeira is on deck. And a 4-pitch walk to Michael Young. 2 on, and that brings Teixeira to the plate, and he's the potential lead run for Texas. Morrow against Teixeira, only meeting. Teixeira's 0 for 1. Well, Mark Teixeira tonight playing in his 500th consecutive game. Miguel Tejada, these are the active lists as we look at our Quest Spirit of Service. Impressive performances. And Morrow can't find it right now. 2-0.
Yeah, he's missing all over the place, too. Kenji going out and have a conversation with him. Probably something mechanical. Try to get him back in the center of the plate.
So Morrow faced 7 batters last night. Got out of a bases loaded jam in the 8th. 2-0 to Teixeira. Fastball's right there. His first strike of the night. Morrow comes set. 2-1 pitch. Down low. 3-1. Sammy Sosa's on deck. Davis, the right-hander. George Sherrill, the left-hander. 3-1, 2 on, 1 out. Top of the 7th. Mariners by 2. Swing and foul tip by Teixeira. Teixeira having a spectacular month. 355 in the month of May, tied for 12th in the American League. He's got 38 hits, tied for 6th. 27 RBI. 3-2 pitch. Fouled and look out. That ball was rocketed. Foul territory. Really got to pay attention when you come to a ball game when you have the good seats. Do it again. 3-2 to Teixeira with 2 on. Line. Foul ball by a couple of inches.
Teixeira's been one of the few hitters we've seen against Brandon that's actually been able to pull the ball off of him. You saw that one ball that was hit hard into the stands, and that one just fouled down the right field line. We haven't seen much of that. Most of the hitters have been late. Sure, the Rangers took notice of him when he was down in Arlington and the amount of fastballs he was throwing. I think he had a better fastball that night. He was throwing 97 miles an hour. I think he punched out a couple guys at 98, 99.
Every bit.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch to Teixeira. Lost him. Bases loaded for Sammy Sosa.
Chavi's going to go out and have a conversation with him.
Kenny Lofton, with one out, was hit by Beck. That was Beck's last hitter. Morrow has since come on. He walked Young on 4 pitches and lost the battle to Teixeira to a walk. The bases are loaded with one out with Sammy Sosa coming up. Sammy 1 for 3 tonight. He struck out twice. Back to the first inning, Mike. Here's what Beck did against Sammy.
Nice breaking ball. Or changeup right there. Then he goes with the slow curve ball. Sammy's way out in front of him.
That was in the 5th
going
inning.
really soft with him, yeah. You know, Brandon, we've seen him walk some guys. He has 15 walks in 19 innings pitched this year, but we just haven't seen him miss as badly as we've seen him last night and tonight.
Breaking ball in there for a strike to Sammy Sosa. Bases loaded, one out. Top 7, Mariners 7-5. 8 career grand slams and a pretty good batting average with the bases filled. 0-1 to Sammy. Straight gas. 0-2. Big spot again for Morrow. 0-2 to Sosa. Did he check? He did, says first base umpire Jerry Davis. 1-2.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it might have been close enough to call, too. You see Joe's tracer. It looked like it was right on the corner.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Sammy stays alive.
That was Brandon's best fastball so far, 96 miles an hour.
Take a look at the pitch speed brought to you by Panasonic for this at bat. First pitch was 85 miles an hour and he's topped out at 96. 1-2 to Sosa. Got him! 2 nights in a row, Brendan Morrow with huge strikeouts with the bases loaded. He'll need another out right here with Ketelinato coming up.
Well, he wants a strikeout or a double play ball with a runner on third. He ends up getting the punch out. And you can see it's just right down the middle, 96 miles an hour.
Brendan Morrow. Good body of work for this rookie. Here's Ketelinato. Fouled off way late. That's what you were talking about there. Say how late Frank was.
That's been a lot more common when Brandon has been on the mound. His first few fastballs when he came into the game tonight were around 92 miles an hour.
Missed away, 1-1.
Trying to change up. But we've seen it before, too. He gets in a little bit of trouble, and he just amps that thing up.
Nice to have those kinds of reserves. 1-1 to Ketelinato with the bases loaded. Little tapper for Lopez, and he'll throw out Ketelinato. Inning over. 3 stranded. Mariners still lead by 2. 7-5 as Brendan Morrow gets out of a jam. And the Mariners' 7th inning stretch is brought to you by John L. Scott Real Estate. With real estate specialists throughout Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, nobody knows the Northwest like John L. Scott. 7-5 Mariners. Mariner bats have been a little bit quiet the last 3 innings. See if Richie Sexson can get things going here against the new pitcher, Joaquin Benoit, 29-year-old out of Santiago in the Dominican Republic. 24th game. Opponents hitting .267. One and one to Richie Sexson. 2-run single in the first. Flew out to left and struck out looking. Good change of speed by Benoit. 1-2. Benoit is the 4th pitcher tonight. Padilla started. Air, Francisco, and now Benoit. 1-2 to Sexson. Got him to chase. 1 out. Pick up a $10 View Reserve ticket on any BECU family night this season. Anyone can take advantage of these $10 View Reserve tickets. The next BECU family night is set for this Monday. Mariners open up a 3-game set with the Orioles at 7:05. Tickets available now online at mariners.com. Kenji Jojima, RBI single in the first. And here's a broken bat, little bleeder, base hit. Well, Kenji hits one where they ain't.
He's going to hit this right off the end of the bat. I feel like Kinsler maybe was going to have a play on it. Ends up falling into the outfield grass.
Lob shot in there. 2 for 4 from Kenji. Kenji with a 2-hit night. Here's Beltre. Beltre first pitch swinging last time, got a single to left. First pitch swinging in the third, he got a base hit to right. Takes a strike. Adrian fouled out to Teixeira, so he's 2 for 3 entering this at bat. Forget, get that vote in to Kenji, MLB.com. Having a great year. Good hack by Beltre. Kenji Jojima hitting .316. Started the night at .309. One out, runner on. 0-2 to Beltre. Changeup just got a piece. Orioles getting it done tonight against the Angels. Mariner fans tip their cap towards them right now. Top 8 down in LA and Anaheim. Markakis having a good night. .02 to Beltre. High fastball fouled away. In the all-important runners in scoring position statistic, Texas tonight 2 for 7. Mariners 7 for 12. Mariners were hitting around 229 before that trip. Got it up to 339 during the road trip. Huge numbers. 0-2 to Beltre. Down low. A scoop by Laird. There's Jason Davis staying ready. Texas will have 6, 7, and 8 coming up in the 8th inning. Bird, Kinsler, and Laird. 1-2 to Beltre. Barely get a piece of that. Nice job.
Throwing him a lot of change-ups. Oh, Prince Fielder with his 19th home run.
A young man can really stroke it. Good looking hitter. First baseman for the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers a little bit of a struggle right now, but still have a 5.5 game lead starting today.
They won today 4-3.
Battle here by Beltre.
Hardy was way out in front of him, and I think Prince has him by a couple now.
Well, young Prince Fielder, growing up around baseball. Cecil Fielder, his daddy. Lessons learned well. Try it again. 1-2 to Beltre. Fastball hit to Young. Kinsler for 1, to Sheriff for 2, and that'll do it for the Mariners. Here in the 7th, we go to the 8th inning. Mariners 7, Texas 5. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. How about Brendan Morrow? Got out of another jam, Mike.
Well, did you see he starts him off with a little breaking ball, and then he starts going back to the fastball. His fastball continued to get better during this at bat, finishing him off 96 miles an hour. Sits right down the middle.
Time now for a Nissan shift to the bullpen. Jason Davis will get a chance to work the 8th inning here against Bird, Kinsler, and Laird. Jason Davis brought over from Cleveland last month. 14th game coming up. 14th appearance right here. And opponent's hitting .250 against Mr. Davis. And he's off to a good start. This will be his 6th game as a Mariner. He jumps in front of Marlon Byrd, 0-2. Byrd, the former Philly and National. Low 1-2. Davis had a season high 3 2/3 back on April 23rd against Tampa Bay. 4th time he's gone beyond 3+ innings. Way outside. Actually, he was brought over from Cleveland this month, May 13th. Up high, and after being ahead 0-2, it's now 3-2.
Mike has JJ throwing in the bullpen. We know he'll bring him in the 8th. He's not afraid to bring JJ in early. See George Sherrill getting loose with him.
Jason Ellison in right field. 3-2 pitch coming up. To Marlon Byrd. Foul back. On deck, Ian Kinsler, the second baseman. And he loses him to a walk. They're being ahead 0-2. And that brings Kinsler up. And he represents a tying run. Not what Mike Hargrove had in mind.
No. Any manager for that matter.
Kinsler with a tapper back-to-back walk and fouled out to Guillen. Strike 1.
Mariner bullpen has been very good this year, but they're having their troubles tonight.
Kinsler more dangerous with runners in scoring position. Runner at first right now, clearly not in scoring position, but Just as a note, the way his year is going, he started tonight .317 with runners in scoring position and a .180 with the bases empty. Mariners, to go to your point, Mike, have walked 3 of the last 5 Texas batters. That's talking about Davis and now Morrow. Morrow and now Davis. And down goes Kinsler. So we have 1 out here in the 8th. Gerald Laird made his contributions tonight. He's 1 for 3. And what a big one that was in the 4th inning. Puts it strike 1. 0-1 pitch in the 4th. Got it all. Third
out into
run.
the bullpen. It just checks up on the grass out there.
Throw back across the Bird. Davis surprised him a little bit. 20,137 on hand here at Safeco tonight. Popped up by Laird, out of play. 0-2. What are your impressions of Jason Davis to this point?
He'll help this club.
0-2 pitch. Up the middle. And that's through for a base hit.
I think he'll throw a lot of ground balls. Other guys will have opportunities to turn 2 on. This ground ball's hit hard back up the middle.
Well, Mike Hargrove going to go to George Sherrill. When we come back, 2 on for the Texas Rangers. Hey fans, this Saturday, Edgar Martinez will become the 4th member of the Mariners Hall of Fame. He joins Mr. Mariner Alvin Davis, The Bone, Jay Buhner, and our very own Dave Niehaus. Join us Saturday for Edgar Martinez Mariners Hall of Fame night, presented by WAMU. Plan to arrive early for the induction ceremony beginning at 6:30. Tickets still available at mariners.com. And coming up, check out this TV schedule if you can't make it. Before the Bigs at 5, in my own words at 5:30, and Mariners Live, the 1-hour special edition. And then the Mariners and the Rangers, I'll have it for you only on FSN. Edgar Martinez Day, Saturday, starting at 5 p.m. New pitchers George Sherrill. Not allowed to run over his last 10 games, 20 of his last 21 appearances. Matt Queta, he'll pinch hit for Ramon Vasquez. Queta representing the lead run here. 7-5 Mariners. Bird on second and Laird at first. Strike 1 to the pinch hitter Matt Queta. George Sherrill has been going right after hitters all year. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Dismissed, 1-1.
Mariners defense will play Queta pretty much straight away.
Here's the defensive setup. 1-1 pitch coming. Fouled away, 1-2. Inning started with Davis coming in to replace Morrow, who had finished out the 7th inning. Davis had Bird 0-2, then walked him. Got Kinsler on strikes. Laird got a base hit up the middle. Runners at first and second. 1-2 to Matt Queta. Heated him up pretty good there. Second strikeout of the inning. 2 down.
Georgia has a pretty good fastball tonight. We all know about his slider. Throws that to left-hander, so he's going to get an opportunity to do that here against Lofton.
Kenny Lofton got hit his last time up. 0 for 4 tonight. Here's some of the fans saying happy birthday to Kenny. He's 40 years old today. Ball 1. An outstanding basketball player, University of Arizona. Good look at the 1-0 pitch. Up high, 2-0.
Well, JJ's ready for Michael Young if they need him. He's been up for a while out in the pen.
Good hits there by George Sherrill. 2-1.
See by Joe's tracer, it's well located too, right on the corner.
George working quickly. 2-1 to Kenny Lofton. Fastball is in there, count even at 2-2. Mariner bullpen trying to get out of some trouble here in the top of the 8th. 2 on, 2 outs. George Sherrill 2-2. Rack 'em. Inning over, 2 stranded. George Sherrill gets her done again. To the bottom of the 8th. 7-5 Seattle. Mariners 7-5, and it started out really well back in the first inning. A 3-run, 4-hit inning.
See Ichiro extending his hit streak. A little fly ball in the left field, and then Richie comes up with the big hit. Bases loaded, base hit. Drives in a couple of runs. Get the Mariners on board. You see Kenji drives in the 3rd run of that inning.
Mariners went on to add 4 in the 3rd. RBIs by Ichiro, Vidro, Beltre, and Betancourt. Akinari Otsuka, next pitcher for the Texas Rangers. He's the 5th pitcher tonight. It'll be Betancourt, Lopez, and Ichiro here in the home 8th. 8-9-1 for Seattle. Mariner bats have cooled. 4 hits in the 1st, 4 hits in the 3rd. Since then, just 2 hits. Beltre, a leadoff base hit in the 5th, and then a base hit in the 7th. Matt Keita, pinch hit for Vasquez. He stays in at 3rd. Betancourt, RBI back in the 3rd. 1 for 3 tonight. Otsuka certainly has a unique delivery, doesn't he? Here's a 1-1 to Betancourt. Up high in his face, and he drills it off the fence. Off the fence, Betancourt digging for 2. He'll get it as it takes a big carom. And it's a leadoff double for Betancourt, his 11th double of the season. Boy, he had a pitch up in his eyes. He got all of it.
He really did, and a couple of feet to the right. And he ends up with a home run. Would have hit the bullpen. See, it'll hit towards the top of the wall. If it's just a little bit to the right, it goes right into there where the bullpen is.
It's below the yellow line. And there it is coming off. A 2-hit night for Betancourt. 2-hit night for Beltre. Let's see if Lopez can get a multi-hit ball game. He's 1 for 3.
See if Mike has him bunt here. See Mike lately give the guys a strike to do something. They foul it off or take it. Might try to move him over then, but maybe the 2-run lead is going to let Jose swing away, have him hit the ball to the right side. There's the bunt.
Oh, it's a beauty, too. Otsuka will tag. And well done by Lopez. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Runner in scoring position for Ichiro. Lopez getting a lot of high fives in the dugout. Well earned.
See if Ron Washington's just going to put Ichiro on. They have the infield up. Nope, he's going to pitch to him.
Ichiro, base hit the center, an infield hit. 2 for 4 tonight. Lopez on third. Strike 1, Ichiro.
He didn't think so.
Sure did. Ichiro, 2 for 4 career against Otsuka. 2-run advantage for the Mariners. They could use an insurance tally. Standing on third. Up high, ball 1. Otsuka is the 5th pitcher tonight for the Texas Rangers. Rangers at 19 and 34, last place in the AL West. 1-1 Ichiro. And tight, backs him off, 2-1. Mike, another double-figure hit night for the Mariners.
Seems like it's a daily occurrence with them. They've been awfully hot. Talked about the road trip. It's really been the last few weeks. It seems to be the case. That's why they've been first or second in the league in hitting.
Otsuka gonna back off. Jeff Pentland, like a proud papa down there.
Why not? You guys are doing well.
2-1 Ichiro. Fouled it off, 2-2. 1 out here in the 8th. Betancourt hit a pitch up in his eyes and lined it off the scoreboard in left field. Sacrificed to third by Lopez, and Ichiro 2-2 right now. Ichiro hitting streak to 24, ties the club record. Coming up tomorrow, Jared Washburn, Kevin Millwood, the starting pitchers. Infield in. Otsuka's set. Base hit, center field, insurance run picked up by Ichiro. His 23rd RBI of the season. It's 8-5 Seattle. 24 ribbies now, counting the one he got earlier. So 2 RBIs tonight for Ichiro.
Well, it's just a fastball. Went right in the middle of the plate. Ichiro lines it in to give him some insurance run. JJ will take the extra run. He'll pitch the 9th for him.
Here's Vidro.
Well, he fooled him on a couple of splits. Decides to go with the fastball. And center cuts it. One of the other fastballs, you saw he threw it up and in. Then he went back to a split, but decides the fastball there and ends up not locating it. And Ichiro hits it hard up the middle.
Runner goes. He's in there. Stolen base. Ichiro. And Ichiro now with 14 stolen bases. He's been caught just twice.
Well, you talked about Otsuka and the leg kick. He even has one out of the stretch. So he just gets in under the tag.
Vidro already has an RBI with an infield out, looking for a base hit here. 3-run Seattle lead. 1-1 to Jose. JJ puts. He's ready to rock. Coming up in the 9th, he'll look at Young, Teixeira, and Sosa. 2, 3, 4 in the Texas lineup. 0-2 to Vidro.
Mariners now 8 for 13 men in scoring position.
Well, that's come a long way.
It really has.
There were some struggles early on. Ichiro on second. Vidro looking to pick him up. Hammered right field. Base hit. Sosa up with it. Here's the throw, and it's cut off by Teixeira. Runners at the corners for Jose Guillen.
Jose was the last Mariner starter to check in with a knock. Gets one here. Ball almost hit the lip of the grass. Could have bounced just about anywhere.
Ben Broussard is going to come on as a pinch hitter. Broussard against Ostka, careers 1 for 1. Broussard pinch hitting for Ellison, who had come in for Guillen. Fly ball left field. Drifting back, Catalanato at the track makes the catch. Ichiro will score. Sac fly for Ben Broussard. He does his job. Another insurance run for the Mariners. 9-5. Take a look at the in-game box score for the starting 9. Everybody is on board. Here's Raul Ibanez. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Mariners checking in with a couple of runs. First time they've scored since the 3rd inning. There's the big yellow 2. 14 hits.
And the other thing they've been doing is in the run scored department. They were 8th in the American League coming in tonight, so they'll move up a notch, maybe 2 after tonight.
1-2 to Ibanez. Good stop by Laird. Good inning here in the 8th for the Mariners. Betancourt led off with a double. Sacrificed the 3rd by Lopez. Ichiro RBI. Vidro got a base hit. Sac fly by Broussard, the pinch hitter. So 2 runs in. Noel keeps the at bat alive.
Got him away from his fastball. He's a decent one. He's 91, 92 miles an hour with his fastball, but he hasn't thrown very many of them to Raul.
2-2 to Ibanez. Hit right to the second baseman, Kinsler. Well, Mariners did the job. They put 2 insurance runs on the board, 9-5, and they'll bring in J.J. Putz to close the door here in the first of 4 against the Rangers. 9-5 Mariners, first of 4 against the Rangers. J.J. Putz, our Geico quote, he's the new pitcher right now, and he talks about how the roles have been very well defined.
If they have a lead going late into the game, that it should be over. But it's definitely nice having the roles, just because you kind of know when the phone rings who's probably going to be getting up, and it allows the guys to kind of get moving around in the 5th, 6th inning, get stretched out, get their bodies loose, and prepared to go in there.
J.J. Putz to Michael Young. Starts him off with a fastball, strike 1. Young to Shera and Sosa. Top of the 9th. Michael Young, a couple of hits tonight. Way outside. One and one to Young. Hit on the ground. Sexton to J.J. Putz covering, 1 out. Plenty of offense tonight, Mike. My goodness.
Well, there has been. There's been a ton of it. Up and down the lineup again. We've talked about it a few times, but again, you have 7 guys with RBIs, 6 guys that scored runs, everybody with a hit. And JJ with his 0.83 ERA for the month of May. I mean,
it's all working.
Yeah.
Here's Teixeira. High fastball in there. Billy Bloomquist manning right field now. Here he replaces Ellison, who replaced Gian. Teixeira, dangerous hitter. Right under his hands, missed, 1-1. Teixeira's only put the ball in play once tonight. They get popped out to Lopez. Walk, hit by a pitch and walk. One and 2. First baseman for the Texas Rangers. 1 down here in the top of the 9th.
You see where those pitches were. The last fastball, 98 miles an hour. JJ's overall numbers. It's the opponent's average, 141.
1-2 to Teixeira. Big split, misses 2-2. Cha Sung-Beck started. Morrow, Davis, Sherrill, and now J.J. Putz. Non-save situation for J.J. 2-2 to Teixeira. Off the fist again. You had to say there was a leader on this Mariner club. Would you say Putz is it?
I think
certainly one of.
He's one of them.
2-2 to Teixeira. Got it. 2 down here in the 9th.
Well, when you throw 96 to 98 miles an hour, it's tough to lay off of a good split, and that's what JJ throws him for a strikeout.
8th time a Ranger hitter's gone down on strikes. Last hope for the Rangers, Sammy Sosa, 2 out, top 9. First pitch to Sammy, fouled back. Mariner fans on their feet here. Battle between Putz and Sosa. 0-1 to Sammy. Did he go? He did, says Brian Gorman.
I don't know where that hit Kenji, but he's hurting.
Right forearm. Tell you what, as you know, we've seen between Kenji and Mike Napoli with the Angels, a lot of catchers getting beaten up this year. 0-2. JJ trying to turn the lights out on the Rangers here. Sosa struck out 3 times tonight already. Make it 4. Game over. Mariners win. Count of 9-5 for your Mariner log, May 31. As the Mariners go to 2 games over 500 for the 8th time, and more importantly, with the Angels losing tonight, only trail by 4.5.
It's a nice win for the guys because the Mariners get in at 3:30 in the morning. You have to wonder if they're tired or not. It's a long road trip for them, so it was a really nice win to come out and start this homestand.
Final score for tonight's game, 9-5. Mariners win, taking out the Texas Rangers. Coming up, Lady Huskies, the College World Series. A little double OT action in the NBA, and the report from the M's clubhouse on a good night for the Mariners, 9-5 Seattle.